Hello, hello. We're going to get started a little bit early today. Approximately 5 minutes earlier than I posted on the YouTubes. Um, Hello, I'm Bill T, your host here for Paint Minis Live, the hobby show with miniatures, models, and painting. I am going to be priming some models that the Dungeon Minister brought over the other night, and I kind of realized that if I try to prime them at the convention, it's just gonna like slough off of them. So I need them to sit overnight. I'm gonna try and get some of the like larger models done, and I think that's gonna be really good to kind of help speed up the painting process later on. We have Tonka Todd in the chat. Lazy Mini Painting, how you doing, Lazy Mini Painting? It's good to see you. Good to see you. I catch your content every once in a while too. I like driving around. Rivers RPG channel. All right. Can't stay. I'm at work. I totally understand. Well, I hope to catch you in the replay. I do. So yeah, we're gonna get to priming up these models. I basically have to prime up because I'm gonna be meeting Dungeon Minister at like noon local time to set up everything for the PML booth, which might take me a little bit of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and reposition the camera here. I only have one that I've unpacked so far. I'm gonna have, I think, two or three at the convention, but I've only unpacked just the one. And so I'm gonna give you kind of a view of the spray booth here, best I can. Working at a hotel table, like just those. It's a pretty small table, maybe 2.5 by 5, something like that. 5 feet is what I'm working with here. All right, I'm gonna start with let's do Tentacle Boy. Tentacle Boy kind of looks like he might have been attempted to have been primed at one point here. I've got my area covered here with like bottles and such, mainly because and holding down a nice like folded wipey, because I don't want any of this getting on the table. I'd hate to get charged for a table in the hotel here. Mike Dymart, how you doing? How you doing? Rivers had to leave for work, so that was. But I hope to see them back too, as well as Lazy Mini. All right, got that. Everything's set up here. I shook my primer already, and I have a little bit of thinner, a little bit of flow improver here that we're gonna toss in the paint cup. Check the PSI, we're good to go. All right. Start with a couple of drops of flow improver to hydrate our needle. It's not really. I give you a little lube up and something for that siphon effect to, well, not really siphon effect, but just for better paint flow. We'll add, yeah, maybe we'll put a couple of drops of thinner on the bottom. Go there. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna need more than that. Just gonna eyeball this. I'm looking for speed, not for accuracy. Nice healthy extra amount of thinner in there and flow improver, just because this stuff's viscous. Start the morning with tentacles, indeed. It's my favorite thing. I'm actually gonna let that sit there. I forgot. Nice little sponge. I needs me a sponge. I know I've got one around here. I got a whole bag of them in here. And this is why I double pack like almost everything. Ease of reach, ease of use. And if you forget one, well, you got the other. I think I've done that twice now, where I've forgotten one thing that I thought I packed, and I actually only packed one of them. Okay, here we go. So just gonna backflow the airbrush here and get that mixture all nice and percolated and incorporated with itself. What's going on, Frost and Fist? Mythos is in the house. How's it going, Mythos? Mythos is everywhere with PML. I'm just gonna go ahead and blast that until this comes out so I can see the consistency we're working with here. Okay, I think we can work with that. And now, I mean, priming isn't the like fanciest endeavor. Looks like there's a, I don't know if that's a plug or something that's supposed to be with the model. There's like this kind of plug in there. I don't know, we'll see what happens with that. I think it's supposed to, I'm just gonna treat that as such. T-shirt. Yeah, that was quite a good comment. I'm not gonna lie. Where's the model from? You know, that's a great question. If you haven't seen last night's live stream I did about the Canadian border, and I got turned away from the Canadian border ovals I was carrying in. And I had a bunch of models that were already primed and prepped, and like I had a couple of models that were like finished, ready for sale, and they didn't let me in because they were worried about something to do with Canadian business law. So I had to turn around back to the U.S. and send them to myself from the post office, and that's basically that story right there. So these are from the Dungeon Minister. He came in clutch. We met up last night for dinner and a hey, how you doing? He said, let me see what I can do about pulling together some models for you so you have something to paint at the convention, since I had to dump all my models. They searched my vehicle for minis. Like literally, it was like a... And so I just I'm not sure where it's from because these are all from his stash, basically. I wish I knew the answer for you. Sadly, I don't. This one, I think it kind of feels like it's already had primer put on it in that way, or getting another layer of primer on, but it looks like it's adhering really well as I just kind of drop that guy casually. But yeah, start the morning with tentacles. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I want to potentially do something a little edgy with that. I don't know, just put like an anime waifu on there or something. I know an artist that does really good anime style characters, and I bet she could pull off like a Paint Minis Live Tentacle Girl thing. I bet that would be kind of hilarious. A bit more for the adult crowd, but like inside joke, subtle innuendos around here. We don't push that line too far, but You know, we like to joke around a little bit, have a good time. What's going on in the chat? I want credit. You can have it. You can have it. I'll have to like. What's your logo, Mike? Is like a chaos star, right? Yeah, gotta love it. I woke up again early this morning to set up all of the stuff here and like get breakfast in me and all of that fun shenanigans from the hotel here. And I'm hoping I can make it through dinner. That's gonna be fun. So we're gonna give the base here just a quick coat of primer. I've worked with like MDF stuff in the I do like it for buildings and terrain and stuff. Like if you've ever contemplated about doing some MDF laser cut terrain, which I don't know, maybe I'll offer in the future. We'll see what happens. It's a pretty decent medium to work with, but it's thirsty if you don't put any primer on it. And even then, like it drinks primer. So if you're working on a large scale piece of MDF, I would highly suggest like a rattle can. Do a rattle can prime on it because those, and I would almost say like lean towards like a Rust-Oleum or something. Don't use your fancy Corax white or something from G-Dubs that costs a kidney to buy. Like use something cheap. Interior use spray paint or primer is what I would go for. The paint and primer 2-in-1 could probably also work, but you're also dealing with a finish on top of that. That's, you know, kind of just comes out of the can. And you have to deal with humidity. So I think that's good enough for me. Again, I'm just going to kind of stamp that this model is pre-primed. I am like just jumbling my words today, but it's probably because I am toasted from driving and carefully put you back in there. Okay, next up we got the next largest model we have. We've got this really cool like hill giant guy. Never thought I'd hear about a border shakedown looking for minis. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. It was wild. It was wild. Yeah, you're right on the money there, lazy minis. This one, on the other hand, this feels like it's no. I think this one's prime too. Yeah, because that's like the base color. It's like this off baby green, and then you got the gray. Oh well, we're just gonna make it. I see a couple of spots that could use a little bit of touch up here. That green's showing out. We're gonna hit them. We're gonna make those shadows, I think. It looks like this guy got a rattle can full of something, for sure. Because it's a little bit spotty in some places, the primer. That's okay. It'll add texture to the model. It's a feature, not a bug, right? For tech folks out there, it's a feature, not a bug. And besides, we're just making random shadows here. It doesn't really quite make sense, but we'll do it. I'm just catching up on chat real quick. Again, trying to work quick and on these minis here. Only so much time to do this. But I love having you guys here with me. I'm not gonna lie, like doing this all on my lonesome is, well, frankly, a little lonely. But having folks around, like they're just interacting with you and keeping your mind in a couple of different spaces, I find it makes my creative juices go wild, especially on this morning of tentacles. Let's see here. Silly o'clock in the UK. All right, yeah. I almost forgot. Yeah, you are in the UK, right? Okay. We have the Chimera coming up next because that guy was already primed. This is a Reaper miniatures. These guys have been getting better and better and better at doing their miniatures for the price point they're at. I dig me some Reaper. The other one that I've really seen come to life too and get more and more sophisticated in their production process is Mantic. Mantic has really come a long way, man. Oh, they're cool. They're cool. The Lounge Cats are now international, indeed. I feel like at some point I'd like to do a stream where everybody that pops in the lounge and is on Discord, I'd mail something out for. I don't have the funds for that because like international shipping is going to be really tough on Ye Old Wallet. But like in the future though, I would love to do the ability to send out some kind of maybe like a patch or a keychain or something very small to kind of cut down that shipping cost, and just have a the International Association of PML Live Chat Lounge Cats keychain or something of the sort. I think that would be just absolutely fantastic. Speaking of song requests, where are my manners? Like, you're just kind of listening to the hum of my air compressor and my breathing. Let's toss that on. How's the volume? Less? More? Let me know. Let me know. Oh, now it's serious. Paint Mini's live time up in here. All right, let's go. Right. Do you what kind of scale do you like to work in Mini? I know Frost and Fist, 28 mil Warhammer guy. You should see his swords. If you guys want some good looking like swords and stuff, go check out Mythos over on Frost and Fist. Check him out anyways, because he's just cool. He is a cool guy. I'm still waiting to hear if you do a Ultramarines tabletop spread for date night, though, Mythos. I need pics. Even if you stage it and it's not a date night, I think it would just be hilarious because you got all the stuff for it. Like, come on, my guy. It'd be really cool. I haven't seen anybody else do like a place setting for a date night that's like 40K themed. Make it all like romantic. Little rose petals and servo skulls, Volume's fine. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate it. It's a little bit tough doing some of the audio side of this. Like I've done music production in the past, and like I know what those levels need to be, but then you do this live stream stuff. YouTube likes to add a whole bunch of compression and like other things to it, and people on the internet have their opinion on what kind of levels you need to make everything sound good, and you just get a little lost and confused sometimes. So the best thing you can do is just ask somebody, how does it sound on your end? So again, appreciate that. And this is actually a really nice mini. I can't wait to paint this one. Yeah. Gotcha, lazy mini. Practice, practice, practice. I hear that. I actually started off basically doing thing. He's boiled it down to an art with the 40K stuff. But that was like where I got my start, was in the Warhammer world. And then the Dungeons and Dragons crew, after I did one dragon. No. You get to come over here now. Learn our ways, silly one. And they took PML in like heart and soul. So now I'm doing like a lot of fantasy stuff, but I kind of yearn for the mines, and I want to do a little. I think in the future I might come back to a little 40K. I might do some. I'm definitely gonna be doing Spartans from Halo. I got the Mantic Games Halo Flashpoint box set thing coming, and that should be here like in November. So I'm gonna be doing that. We're kind of working our way around the model. This one's got a lot of like nooks and crannies, and I just want to fill them. If anything, I want to make sure this white doesn't poke out too hard in anywhere specific to draw the eye. For now, we can build all that back up. So tonight for Clericon, we're gonna have this feasty thing. There's a catering company that's coming in. Everybody's gonna sit down around the table. We're probably gonna talk shop a little bit. We're gonna get some grub in us, have a good time. I'm really excited about it. I'm thankful that I decided to come up here a day early though. Between having the extra time to do something like this and not worry about it later, makes me very happy. One for 40K, one for terrain. Yeah, I've been kind of considering something similar. I don't really want to split the party too hard. When it comes to that, I might do like sprints or something where, well, I don't know. It's a fickle game, trying to keep the audience together and happy. So you get a bunch of people that just strictly want to watch 40K, and a bunch of people that strictly want to watch fantasy or terrain building. And that's all good, but it'll throw your numbers for a whack. The good old algorithm. This model's taking a bit longer than I thought. I think my primer's a bit thin in this cup. I'm a painter when it comes to that kind of stuff, but it just needs to be on there. Even if it is like a little too thin, we're alright. Honestly, I'd rather have it a bit thin because I've still got to clean this and get it out the door, back into the truck, and on the way to the convention site in just a couple hours. But I think we can smash bad boys. Do you guys think you can keep me motivated and dedicated to it? I think we can power through it. I think we can do it with the level of quality we're known for. You know, I don't like to make sure my work's the best I can put it out. Oh yeah, Mythos, you're jumping on the Flashpoint bandwagon too. I love it. Awesome, buddy. Awesome. Well, I know Paint Together project, kind of semi-competition-y thing. Well, it's not really a competition. It's just a paint and compare. That's what it was called. Yeah. I know we still have that like to do. And come Saturday, I'm going to have my hands free after working for a year on the project that I'm going to be talking about. And that's kind of why I was super radio silent. I was that ridiculous project. Why did I have to start that bad boy? Well, I know why. Because I've got here that I wanted to do something absolutely huge for, and because they've helped me grow this channel, and I can't wait to share that stuff with you. I've had to like allude to it. I've talked a little bit about way back, you know, some of my ideas and where I was kind of going with it, but yeah, you're gonna get the full scoop come Saturday at 12:30. That's when I'm hoping to have that running. And if it changes, I'll make sure. Okay, his back here is a little bit lean on paint. Okay, now it's just the base. Base is quick and easy. Just gonna get it on there. Do the best of our ability. It's not gonna be perfect. If anything, the Dungeon Minister can come back through with a little primer or whatever and clean that sucker right back up. I think we're gonna call that good. Anything not covered is just gonna be what it's gonna be, and we're gonna like hope that paint sticks. That matte varnish is gonna come in clutch on the Chimera. Chimera? Still learning some of these monster names. Okay, we got you in the box. Okay, what are we up to next? I feel like that Minotaur is gonna be kind of a pain to paint. Well, we got to do the player character minis in here that we should definitely do. 48K is covering the Combat Patrol magazine that's over there. Gotcha. So they get 2 paints and no model. Okay. Cool. Well, I'll be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that lazy mini painting. We got 40 done already. Nice. Another 10 to spare. Hey, Tonka Todd. Oh man, I tell you what, that guy knows how to. He knows how to talk somebody into anything, I swear. It's great. Yes, blame Todd. But I blame him in a good way. It's kind of funny, like, yeah, I blame him in a good way. Working on this project has been basically a life changer. The amount of communication I've had to do with people, the paperwork, the capital expenditure, all of it's been absolutely crazy. But it's made me grow too, which I really appreciate. If I was back in the studio, I would have hot glued these to a cork or just like right on top of one of these bottles. I would have just like hot glued it already, but I don't have, at this point, I don't have time to have those things set, like to get them ready and actually do it. Otherwise I would have. I think I might come back at them again maybe tonight and just redo redo some of the priming on the bases and stuff because I'm going to get my fingerprints all over it. It's just something I got to accept since I don't have all the equipment I'm used to. Well, I have all the equipment I used to. It's just I'm not going to set it all up right now. I ain't got that time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, cool. Okay. So they're publishing. G-Dubs is publishing a magazine over here for like Combat Patrol and stuff. Is it Combat Patrol centric or just like 40K anything? Kind of like White Dwarf, but just 40K centric. Because that'd be cool. As much as I wish they would kind of redirect with a little bit in some ways. All right. Sounds good. Thanks for joining us, Lazy Mini Painting. Make sure to check out Lazy Mini Painting. Gotta love me some Lazy Mini Painting. I drop by every once in a while to see what's going on over there. Because to be honest, like one of the best things about doing model painting and like this kind of artsy fartsy stuff in general is you're always learning from somebody else. Whether you're learning, you know, painting techniques from Mythos over on Frost and Fist for like solid body models, or you know, you're learning maybe some stuff about, you know, how to do cloth and, you know, some various practices that that Lazy Mini Painting does up, you know, or terrain, things like that, you know. Everybody's got their own techniques, and sometimes when you add it to yours, it just like all of a sudden you come up with your own hybrid that just works for you. That's what it's all about. Take a little here, take a little there. You're not really stealing. You're just, you know, you're using these techniques to further your own art, your own creative ideas. It's the way that I see it. Okay, that guy's looking primed up. You got you ready. He is gonna play you in a game of D&D this weekend, and they're gonna love you. Yeah, definitely. Definitely join the Clericon Discord for some good old, well, some online tabletop action with good old feel. There's going to be some games I believe are still open. Gosh, I have to stop and say, I love models that are like this, where they're not like super splayed out, and there's not to try and shoot the paint in. This guy's literally got like a giant robe on, and it's making my life so easy. Oh, I love it. Thank you, thank you. Cool. Synthwave style Battletech mechs. Oh, that's hardcore. Oh, just picturing that in my mind, I get super heavy Tron vibes. I get the Tron tingles. That sounds an awful lot like tentacles. Tron tingles. Tronticles? Is that a word? Tronticles? It is now. It's in the Paint Minis Live Lexicon of Madness. The Lexicanum Lunatic. Or Lunatic Lexicanum? Somewhere in there? Oh. We'll figure it out. I mean, look at me. I'm the rambling madman painting a wizard in a hotel room. You shall. This guy's got like a man catcher. I don't know if you've ever seen what a man catcher looks like, but like look up what a man catcher is, and like maybe a video on how it's used, and tell me this wizard does not have a man catcher. Look at that. He's like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna pin you against the wall, and you ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah, I totally agree. There, Frost and Fist. Learning skills from all the good people out there in hobby world. Hobby's a lifestyle, and I live it to the fullest. I think a lot of other people do too. It's just fun. It's cool. What other hobby are you gonna be going out and doing stuff like this? Not too many, I don't think. I mean, there's some, but this is a tough part. Got to get the underside of this bad boy. Try my best. None of it's gonna be on camera. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's definitely the sentence of the day there, Tunkatod. That is the sentence of the day. I think we're almost done with Wizard Boy here. I just keep finding little folds in his cloak here that are various directions, so kind of when you use an airbrush, you gotta put that primer on from all the angles so that none of it gets shown. A little bit of a curse of the airbrush, but I mean, you do only need so much paint. I've done like I've done some large models, or I did that whole tentacle guy. I did these two dudes, and I've only used up maybe 7-8 drops of primer so far. I mean, you can make it spread. You can make it last for sure. Okay, put you over here to dry. You can go back in the box. In the box with you. I feel like let's do these gargoyle trio. That sounds like fun. Do some gargoyles. Well, how are we doing on time here? Okay, I've got 1 more hour to get through whatever I'm gonna get through. So quick and dirty. These guys, they're small. They shouldn't take very long at all. A lot of this priming stuff is kind of following basic shapes in the model. Get it on there. It's really not the, most exciting thing to do. Again, that's why having all you fine folks in the chat out here make a huge help. I have to admit, The hotel breakfast was not bad this morning. I did enjoy myself. I had me some like apple juice and eggs, some sausage. The Canadian bacon was a little rough, but I think that's because I got there late and like they ran out of all the good stuff, unfortunately. So my piece was like kind of shoe leather. The taste, though, I mean, yeah, the texture was just the bad part, but the taste was pretty good. And Rome things, I guess I'll give it a try and see what's going on. But I'm sure if you went to somebody's house and had legit Canadian bacon, it'd be a different story altogether. All right. Here's another one. Calvinoni, the one and only. Hello, Calvinoni. Hey, yo. How you doing? Thank you, Mythos. Yeah, I'm trying to get it on there without losing any of that good quality. Because there's nothing like doing the best job you can and then watching somebody react to it. That's like, I live for that. I live for that so hard. If I could, you know, I probably will. I'll looking for these guys to go to some new home. Not these models in particular, but like models I do in the future. They're probably just gonna go right out in the world and be enjoyed on somebody's tabletop. Nope, we got a clog. Folks, this is one of those monkey see, monkey don't do. Don't ever touch the needle of your airbrush. And the only reason I'm doing it is because I've got a clog and I can't, there ain't no way, there we go, got it off. Yeah, always use sponge, wipe away from yourself or like a Q-tip to interact with the needle of your airbrush. Unless you've become very familiar and comfortable with it, because that needle will go all the way to your bone. And it's not fun when it hits your bone. And it stinks. It'll hurt for like a week. And Lord knows if you have a piece of metal in there, like if it broke off. I've only had it bend when it messed up on that front. But yeah, monkey see, monkey don't do. Just got up and going for you, Cal. Well, good morning to you. Good morning to you. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and thank you for joining us at the top of your morning. Here for some priming action. It's not the necessarily the most entertaining, but hey, it's some hobby goodness to bring that morning to life. Road March is coming in. Oh my gosh, everybody's coming in. Do we like the morning live streams? Good Lord. Talk about it. Talk about it. Seeing like all kinds of folks in here today. Weekend morning live streams. Is that something to consider? Let me know. And you know what? You can email me your thoughts. I haven't put it yet in the ticker down below. But you can email me now at theshow@paintminislive and tell me what you think, or if you have any spur-of-the-moment ideas for what you'd like to see on here, or if you'd like maybe some more information on some of the techniques that I'm doing over here on Paint Minis Live. Go ahead and it's theshow@paintminislive.com. I'm so proud of that. Trying to set up that email address was like a pain. Private domain emails. Let me tell you. You know, most people go for down the Google route, and I can totally see why, but they kind of wanted an arm and a leg when compared to like the market price I was seeing elsewhere. I should have maybe just gone down that route, but that's okay. So yeah, go ahead, send an email over there, even if it's just this is such and such. Wanted to say hi. Because I could use some traffic history. Otherwise, anything I send back is just going to hit people's spam inbox, and that stinks. Like, who likes that? I don't want spam email, or I don't want my emails going back as spam, since there's no history on them. Okay, here's the models that I've kind of been putting off in our group here. We got like 40-ish minutes left. Look, it's the American Mini bootlegger. Indeed, Road March. Calvin Oily still uses spray can primer. Army Painter is your favorite. Army Painter has been really stepping up their game. I still haven't tried out their contrast paints, and I need to. Like, I think everybody on YouTube has covered contrast paints except for PML. Like, everybody's used them and tried them out except for me. At some point, I will get around to it. Oh boy. But I see them releasing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I'm sure they're not going to stop either. They found a gold mine with that contrast stuff. I know there's been people that have switched from the GW had their own, and they've like switched over since direct to like Army Painter everything. For me, I got pulled into Monument just because their standard paints are just so easy to work with. I mean, heck, even their primer. Like, and they're constantly refining their formulas over there. The new paints that they're making at Monument, I haven't tried it yet because I don't have any new paint. I think I'm still working off of their old stock. But their newer paints apparently can get run right through an airbrush if you set the correct PSI, just right from the bottle. Which, if you can brush that comes out as intended, that's an innovation in the hobby game. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. You need to up the contrast. That's true. I think, as I've been painting more and more of this fantasy stuff, I have definitely gone towards a little bit of realism without as much of the well, not really realism. I don't know. I haven't really gone down the huge I guess classical fantasy painting route, where like it's very bright colors, high contrasts, and I know like a lot of people really like that style. I've always, I got my start with 40K, and I've been a grimdark kind of painter. That's been my style most of the time, unless requested otherwise. The model we did for Sapphire was me kind of foraying into that really bright, vivid fantasy. But we're getting there. I'm working on my technique to kind of close that gap. I feel proud of my own art, and it doesn't feel like I'm just painting the model to paint it, because I want to have a little piece of me in there and my flair, my style. So I've been kind of developing that with the models that it's okay. We'll see it soon enough at the convention. Bill, you missed the boat. You gotta try their fanatics now? Oh, God. What is their fanatics? Is that... Okay, is that their, like, is that their standard paint line now? Is that what they're running with? Calling it fanatic? Because, I mean, I know they gotta have, like, standard colors, like a standard line, you know, just basic acrylic paints. I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up with my Army Painter lore, unfortunately. Okay, how are we doing on primer? What do we got left in the cup? Oh my gosh, we got so much left in the cup. Time to kick it in gear. Cool. Okay, you can call you done too. Minotaur number 2 is on the chopping block. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have, as I've continued to kind of grow as a painter, my style has kind of changed too. Like, some of my older stuff, not like the first models I've done, because everybody's got their first model, and it's like, when you look back at that after painting for so long, you're like, dear Lord, what is this? Like, just a two-tone color, like two color scheme. Color scheme. It's just gold and a flat black, and that's because I had a can of black rattle can primer. Some of them have a flesh tone, maybe a little bit of red on their weapon, but like the early stuff that I was doing, it felt really chaotic. Like, it had very little rhyme or reason to basically any of it. I don't think this is actually supposed to be here. Oh, that is a weird material. I think this is that kind of CO-cast stuff. I need to grab a X-Acto. I think these bits here are actually part of the mold. They're not supposed to be there. X-Acto knife. Come on, get out of here. Grimdark with more contrast works well, especially for leader models, so they stick out from the masses. I hear that. I think that's a very valid point. Especially for like centerpiece models and such, that's important to have that kind of readability on the tabletop for all of the war gamers out there. There we go. Cool. Put you back in the case so I don't actually stick myself with you later. Where are you painting? At the... Thank you very much for the warning there, Cal. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the chat here. Fanatics is a reformulated replacement for their standard line. It's supposed to be thinner, densely pigmented line. Okay, doing the same thing. Everybody's kind of going that direction. I think it's great for customers. No matter what line you're picking, if everybody's kind of going down that, let's make it a little bit thinner. Let's find a way to help, you know, entry-level painters tackle. It's off the bat, you know, it's a little crutchy for learning, you know, good technique, but that's okay. That's okay. We're all busy. We're all adults. Like, some people ain't got the time to do this. And I get it. So go use that stuff. Do it. If it looks good to you, do it. Live it, love it, and breathe it. Just don't huff your paints. COcast, yeah, that was definitely, these guys are COcast, I think, because that stuff was like kind of rubbery. Into in the future COcasting, if I can get up 80 grand for a COcast machine, it's better than a injection molder for sure, because those run hundreds of thousands instead of just, you know, double digit or you know, 80 grand. Let's see here. What did Romarch say? Where are you painting? At the church? No, I'm actually still at the hotel. I'm gonna be meeting up with Dungeon Minister around noon to start setting up the PML booth and, you know, seeing if I can offer a hand anywhere and whatnot. And I'm gonna go head over to the church for the dinner. There's no. I don't know if there's any gaming going on tonight. I think it's pretty light. It's a very light night. It's kind of just for everybody to come in, relax, meet and greet, hi, how you doing kind of thing. And I just kind of knew that if I was going to be doing some painting tomorrow, that these minis were going to need to get primed so that they had time to set and have the primer really adhere where it needed to be. Always give your models a time to rest. They're like steaks. If you've ever had a steak that's come right off the grill, and you've had a steak that's had 10 minutes for rest, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know what I'm talking about. If you're a vegan or a vegetarian, well, I'm failing to come up with an example for you, so I'm sorry. Better. It's just better. It'll make your life so much easier. I've done models on PML where I've gone straight from prime to paint, and let me tell you, you have to handle it like extremely carefully because that stuff is gonna slough off on you if you're not careful. Look at what we got. Ghosty Ghouly Goblin. I have so many color ideas for this. I'm thinking like a jade, weird spirit looking green kind of thing going on. Or I don't know, maybe, yeah, I feel like black would just be too simple. This gotta be like some kind of nasty ghoul. And it looks cool. I can't wait to paint that guy up too. Don't tell me how to live my life, he says. That's for your golden demon entry, says Calvinoni. Oh, someday. I don't think I'm quite on that level. At some point, I would like to go to go for what is it? There's like an acronym for it. It's in Washington. It's a painting competition in Washington, but they have like I believe they have like a tiered entry system where you start off and then as your score increases through consecutive judging, when you come back to the competition, you get you kind of rank up to like semi-pro, professional, masters, full over time. And that's really appealing to me because I feel like I could not compete with anybody at Golden Demon currently with my skill set, which is okay. I'm not really huge on the competition side. I just like I think it would be fun to challenge myself to make the something like that. But these guys spend months and months or years on these models that they're putting out, and they've got a business, they've got all that backing behind them, they've got the time, they live, eat, breathe acrylic paint. I don't know what that does to your body, but I don't think I'm ready to make that sacrifice just yet. I like my organs. I like my organs. Well, that's looking pretty good already. I don't really think I missed anywhere on you. At this point, we're just kind of backfilling some areas that really want to make sure are nice and dark. There's a little bit of light peeking out, that's fine. What do we got going on in the chat? Replacement parts from the company in Italy. Okay. Well, I've also thought about other resin, like resin casting too, pressure injected resin. So I don't know. We'll have to see what we do in the future. Yeah. Going to visit Golden Demon though, that would be a trip. That would be one heck of a trip. Essen, is that what it was? I think, yeah. And 95S. I mean, the spray booth that I've got here, does the trick for me. I mean, I'm sure I could do more on that front, but I'm really not getting a ton of particulate pushback. It's all getting sucked through the filter. You're gonna be hard to handle. What else we got? We got a pack of wargs, like the wolfy guys. These. Let's see if I can get at least a halfway decent kind of close up. They're like little, yeah, they're angry wolves. So that's where we're going. Not too far from me. Okay. I think we've got just enough primer left in the pot to get through these wolves. My backup plan is that if because I'm gonna want to live stream tonight and talk about the dinner and like all the fun folks I'm meeting out here with you all, and give you the ability to kind of experience the con as much as I can recollect in the places where I'm not, nobody's streaming or taking film or anything like that. Because, well, it is a public event, I feel like, some people kind of just want to have a good time, not worry about any of it, if they're on camera or anything. So, and I feel like this dinner is probably one of those places where it's better to, just leave the camera stuff here. But I will make sure to let you guys know what I see and experience there, and we'll talk all about it. I might end up doing some more priming because I've got an entire bag of goblins, and I'd really like to prime those up. If anything, Dungeon Minister can paint them up because they're already going to be pre-primed for them. Let's see what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Mythos. Learning the chop style that's popular and it changes, like it's just such a moving goalpost. I'd just enter it to, see where I'm at and kind of just see what people's response to it, like other names in the industry think about my artwork. That'd be the biggest thing for me. And it would be kind of nice for holding, having to put on essentially your painter's resume, so to speak. I competed in this and this, and I got such and such rank. So that you're dealing with somebody that's got experience, and if I'm doing a commission or something, that there is some level of competency in there. to comfort the customer so that they know that they're going to get the best job that I can perform for their money. Because we all work really hard for that, and it can get kind of tight, and sometimes we don't have a ton of it to spend. And like, you know, I totally get it. Little Timmy's birthday is around the corner, and little Timmy wants a PML Mini. If you're going to spend the bucks to get these hands working and, you know, making something beautiful for little Timmy, I want to make sure that little Timmy gets the best. Because I know what it takes to try and earn a buck working at a family business for the last like 4 or 5 years, and generating a dollar is actually pretty difficult. And, you know, doing labor for your money too is difficult as well. That's another, this guy's like a rat dog. I don't know what those dudes are. But also the difference too between some of you out there have painted, you know, army-sized amounts of models. Some of you might have just painted, you know, 1 or 2, you know, player character models, so on and so forth. But like, you know, the painting an army to a certain level of detail is taxing, and that takes its own form of willpower and, you know, kind of set of mental tools and painting techniques in order to make that go by in a timely fashion, so you don't spend 10 years on a single army. You're taking those techniques and kind of, not really shortcuts, but just techniques that speed up your painting process. Whereas somebody like me, where I'm working on only small batch models, I'm not doing a ton of army stuff. I have that luxury to take the time to implement other techniques that bring different style to the table, so to speak. The room. This is just at like I'm in the hotel room. This is just like a table though. Here, let me zoom you out. Like I'm at the table in the hotel room. And I've literally got my my paint set up like on there. Live. We're doing it live. It's right here. It might be a mess. Well, honestly, it is a mess. It's a mess of wires, but like, you know, we're making it happen. We're making it happen come hell or high water. Well, yeah, they were confiscated at the border, their road march. Dungeon Minister came in clutch, and he had a whole bunch of models from his collection, and he was like, here, have these, have them, just have them. And we were talking over dinner. He was like, yeah, you could kind of, if money changed hands, you know, nobody's going to be the wiser, or like they could, I could sell it for you, and then, you know, who knows what happens with that money later. I'm not sure. I don't know. Depending on how I feel about some of the paint jobs, I might end up donating them to Father Aaron and then seeing what happens after that. Otherwise, or not really donating them, but you know, giving them as a gift, and then doing. I don't want to instigate myself in anything, but yeah, I'm guessing most of these are probably going to end up back on his tabletop, because I can. I bet I bet his story could use a couple extra NPCs and creepy crawly monsters and stuff. Bill Solo. I don't know. There's got to be a good Bill Han Solo name mashup, and it's just not coming to my head. I have not been to Tim Hortons yet. And it's like kind of annoying me at this point. Like I think on my way to the convention site, I have to go and find me a Tim Hortons. I have not done it. I guess it's kind of a national identity thing for Tim Hortons to be, you know, like that's their Starbucks kind of thing going on over here. But even the border guard had a Tim Hortons cup. Like everybody around here has got, you know, they're drinking Tim Hortons something or other. So I have to make time to go there and do that. That's on my list. I'd also like to make like a short, maybe out somewhere, I don't know, someplace that says Canada, but like it's rural. That says Canada, and then it's like kind of pointing towards a farmstead. I'd love to do a you know, PML style Letterkenny intro. You were painting models with your buddies the other day. God, I'm a dork. We're almost there on this last dude. This last warg. Wog? Okay. That's good enough for me. We're fine. We need a little behind the ears. Alright. A little touch up on you. Looks like this tuft of fur didn't quite get hit as much as I wanted. Okay. Alright. Look at all these primed minis. We got like a ton of painting. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And we still have like an entire bag of these guys. But I'm honestly kind of out of time for anything priming right now. It's just going to take me too long. And again, I have to go hit up Tim Hortons and meet up the Dungeon Minister. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these guys back, and then I'll run us through my cleanup process, because you're going to see in real time what... you're going to see in real time airbrush clean out. We're going to wing this one because I don't even know what I'm doing. And, you know, you're getting the cold open experience here on Paint Minis Live. I show you everything. The mistakes, the successes. You get to see it all. Drink at least one Moosehead beer. Ooh. Okay, well, there's another thing on my list now. Moosehead beer and Tim Hortons. How long is it? Oh, not far at all. It's like 10 minutes, I think, or less. It's very... Okay. I'm just going to wet the needle here. I'm going to take my needle cap. Where's the safe space? I'm going to put it on the keyboard. There you go. That's not going to move. We're going to go ahead and... in lieu of a cup, because if I had run to Tim Hortons, I'd have a disposable cup to do this in. But in lieu of a cup, we're going to use my my well here, my paint well, or brush well. And I'm going to go ahead, and I've got my tattoo bottle here, and we're just going to go ahead and start rinsing out the color cup on the airbrush until it starts to kind of run smoky gray, since I used a gray primer. Am I going to need a paintbrush to clean this out? I am going to need a paintbrush to clean this out. It looks like some of the... just hit the nozzle real quick to keep it moist. If you can clean it while it's wet, It'll make your life so much easier. We're going to use this sponge, I think. So I'm going to put a little bit of water in the bottom of this. We're going to try and pull out the leftover gunk with the sponge. It'll kind of conform to the color cup. I'm just going to wring that sucker around with some decent pressure to see if we can't grab all that goo out. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. All right, and then to keep our sponge clean, we can just kind of take that off. It's already semi-dried, so don't have to worry about it. And the primer is kind of like stretchy, latexy, is what's going on there when it's only half dried. So it makes for a pretty easy, so that you don't get any chunks of primer in your down the barrel of your airbrush, where it starts to constrict, and now you're talking about trying to clean that bad boy out with tiny little brushes and whatnot. I'm gonna go ahead and take this assembly off the back here because I don't need it. This is just your kind of my quick and dirty airbrush clean out process when I'm not going to be essentially running it through with primer. Okay. So now you can see the needle's actually pretty dirty. So we're going to use our makeup sponge again here. And we're going to throw across this like long, I like to use the, since it's this type of triangle, I like to use the long side of the triangle, and I'll run some thinner right down the center of it. You know, kind of make myself a nice wet area full of thinner, and then just run the needle across it like that, and you can already see that it's taken it off just fine. This isn't going to help any clogged paint in the nozzle of your airbrush, but I don't have the time to go through and poke out the nozzle with a nozzle cleaner. If you've ever seen one of these prison shanks, it's you know, that this is a nozzle cleaner. It's a ridiculously sharp utensil. So I'm always really careful with it, but I don't really have the time to go through and pick out anything in there right now. So we're gonna leave that be. I'm gonna just maybe take a second and squirt a little bit more water down the barrel here. Looks like the needle did draw out a little bit of excess primer. And very carefully, we're gonna reinsert the needle into the back of the airbrush. This particular airbrush is premium Chinesium, so it's a knockoff. But I love it for doing priming stuff. It's definitely a workhorse when it comes to things like that. But I don't want to use my expensive Infinity on. Now we're just gonna, okay. Now I'm gonna throw some thinner in the cup and just blow it all out into the disposal right here, and that'll hopefully clean up the nozzle, and we're good to go. We're good to go. Chat Lounge Cats made it to the end. I love you guys. You guys are great. Thanks for hanging out with me. I had a great time priming up all these models with you guys. Again, can't thank you enough for the company. Like, really, thank you. I do appreciate it. And I look forward to bringing you everything I possibly can from the convention. I'm really shooting to make sure that I can present the convention in such a way where people still have some privacy to game, yet you feel like you're there, and you get about as much as I can show, listen to. I'll probably, I don't know, I'll maybe shut off some cameras if Dungeon Minister's kids are going to be about. I'm sure they're going to make an appearance, but he likes to have their identities off screen, and I cannot agree more with that. Let kids be kids. But I'll do my best to show you everything that I possibly can, and I'm going to have open mic for anybody that wants to come and join me at the convention. I'll have an extra microphone set up so that they can just plop on the headphones, and we'll have community guests from Clericon talk about their whatever they want to talk about. It's going to be wild. Absolutely wild. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to get you set up back here. I've got my Dungeons and Dragons t-shirt on. It's crabs and a dragon. Anyways, without further ado here, I'm going to wrap up the stream. Thank you, Frost and Fist, Calvinoni, Road March, Lazy Mini Painting, Mike Dymart, Tonka Todd, Rivers RPG, and all of you guys in the replay. Thank you very much for coming in and spending some time with me while we get ready for Clericon, and I'll see you again hopefully tonight. All right.